Hey, I'm Kylie, former NICU travel nurse and founder of Passports and Preemies, and you're listening to Clocked Out, Life Beyond the Bedside. This podcast is for nurses who are ready to ask, what else is out there for me? Each week, we dive into what it means to thrive as a nurse beyond the hospital walls through conversations about burnout, alternative careers, travel, financial freedom, and wellness. Whether you're deep in burnout or just craving more freedom, you're in the right place. It's time to redefine what life after clocking out really looks like. Okay, hi, you guys, and welcome back to this week's solo podcast episode. I'm actually recording this from Toulouse, France, because I had a major crash out this past week. I texted my podcast manager and I was like, I think I'm stepping away from the podcast. And luckily, her and Julian brought some sense back to my life. So I'm recording here in Toulouse. I guess I'm just telling you that because I believe in accountability. And also, not everyone has it all together. And if you are struggling with something right now, you're not weird or alone. So, yeah, I thought today we could kind of just do like a fun, let your hair down episode going back to my roots of just travel. And I had the most incredible trip to Costa Brava, Spain, which, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw my stories. I haven't posted any grid posts yet, but I have updated my website with an itinerary and 10 things to do in Costa Brava. So I thought that it would be fun kind of just to talk about Costa Brava and talk about just going on vacation because every nurse needs a good vacation. And honestly, taking vacations as a nurse literally changed my life because that's how I met Julian. So thank God for vacations. Okay. I have notes because I went on this trip like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So my recall is probably not the best. I think I have memory recall issues. So I'm going to kind of go through my notes. I have everything saved on my maps and let's get started. Okay. So Costa Brava refers to the northeastern coastline of Spain. It stretches about 125 miles from Blanes in the south. And I apologize for my pronunciation. I'm going to try my hardest, but a lot of these words I say might be pronounced a little bit funny. So it's from Blanes in the south to Portbou near the French border. And this is like Catalonia region of Spain. So on the east side of Costa Brava, you have the Mediterranean Sea. And on the west side, it's like the foot of the Pyrenees Mountains. So one thing I guess that surprised me when I went was how warm it was because you are kind of close to the mountains. It's not like southern Spain is always warm, but it was October and it was like people swimming in the ocean. So that really surprised me. And I could totally see myself like I took a trip from Paris. I just took the train. It's 6 hours nonstop. I think at this time next year, if I'm sick of Paris weather or I just want to dip in the ocean, it's like, oh, okay, you can just take the train to Spain. And it's such a cool region that I definitely want to go back anyways. I think it feels still like one of those destinations that's a little bit undiscovered. You have coves, beaches, medieval towns. There's truthfully something for everyone because okay, let's break it down. There was a lot of old people bicycling there. So Lance Armstrong kind of made this region famous because this is where he trained for his cycling. So there was tons of older couples cycling around together. That was super cute. They have coastal walks. You can walk from one town to the next. And you can, of course, do this on your own with your own luggage and everything, or you can hire a company to move your bags from one hotel to the next hotel. I actually feel like this would be something I'd be interested in. Apparently, if you do the entire route, it can take 2 weeks, but I feel like just doing a few days would be fun. They have wine, which, that really spoke to me. They have amazing food. I guess they're really known for seafood, obviously, anchovies. I ate such good arroz. Arroz. It's rice. It's not paella, but I guess it's similar. In a lot of the restaurants, the menu, it would say paella because that's what, how you recognize that dish, but it's made differently. The ingredients are different. The way you make the dish is different. And in my opinion, it's better than paella. This is one of my all-time favorite dishes, like ever, 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 ever. I need to go back and get another one of these dishes. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, something for everyone. If you are a nurse listening to this, you never feel like you can turn off when you leave the hospital. You might hear alarm bells ringing or just going over if you've made any mistakes, if you've finished all your tasks. I think that this is one of the most stressful parts about nursing. And just thinking that even when you clock out and you leave the hospital, you really carry the emotional weight of your shift with you. So when I was actively nursing, travel was such a good way for me to escape those difficult shifts. And Costa Brava would be a place that I would have loved to go and turned off that nursing noise. So stack your shifts, take 8 days off. You know the drill. Take 2 weeks off. I don't care. Just get yourself there. Here are a few things to keep in mind if you want to visit. So, you will probably, if you're flying from America, you'll probably connect in Barcelona, but you can connect in Paris too. There is a direct flight to Girona, and you will fly into Girona, which is in the Catalonia region near Costa Brava. It's only like an hour from Costa Brava. So you can fly to Barcelona, take the train from Barcelona, you can fly to Paris, then fly to Girona, you can fly to Paris, take the train from Paris. There's a lot of different ways to get there. If you are short on time, whatever, go for 3 or 4 days. But I think it's a perfect 8 day vacation. It's a perfect 2 week trip too, if you want to combine southern France or more of Spain. And then I would absolutely rent a car. I think that this is the absolute best way to get around. I mean, there's buses, but again, definitely a car. Now, I can't really decide if I should give you guys an itinerary or just some of my favorite things. I'm going to do an itinerary type talk right now. And then obviously, I'll highlight my favorite things within the itinerary. So I was there for 3 nights and 4 days. So we'll kind of follow that path and I'll give you the best of both worlds. I'm going by memory, so please be nice to me. I have memory recall issues. I'm getting up my Google Maps right now so I can kind of go through everything. I save everything on my Google Maps and it's getting a little bit overwhelming actually. Okay, so I took the train from Paris to Girona. I arrived to Girona. I had the most fabulous seafood lunch at Arros 9. ARROS 9, the number. So this is a locally owned restaurant. The girl that owns it was like, I don't know how old she was. She seemed super young. I don't know. I just feel so proud of people when they're young and doing things. I think that that was so cool that she opened her own restaurant and it was amazing. I had that dish. I told you that I loved the rice dish and then tomat with anchovies. And let's see, what else did I eat there? I don't know. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I had lunch there. I checked into my hotel. Ooh, the hotel was super cool. It's part of the small luxury hotels of the world. And I really like this brand because the hotels are really, really good. And I don't ever feel like it costs an arm and a leg. So this hotel is Hotel Fugit, Hotel Palaufugit. It's a 4-star hotel. This is very small. It has a spa, it has a pool, has amazing breakfast, it has a bar, it has great rooms, but it's in the literal heart of Girona. You cannot get a better location. If you go, I absolutely recommend this hotel. It's amazing. Then I did a little tour of Girona, and Girona is really interesting because it was founded by the Romans. So it has a lot of Roman influence. The town to me felt super Italian, very Italian. The trees and the river, and even like, okay, there's bridges and colorful homes. It kind of reminds me of Florence, Italy. But yeah, there's a lot of Game of Thrones scenes that were filmed in Toronto. So if you're a Game of Thrones fans, maybe you've heard of this city before. What else? They have one of the most well preserved Jewish quarters in Europe. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's a really fun town. I mean, you could truthfully stay for 2 days, I think. One thing that's interesting, so there's this family in town, and I believe the parents were involved in the restaurant business, but now it's these three brothers, and they have opened tons of food places in Toronto. So they have one 3-star Michelin restaurant, and this has been ranked the number one restaurant for 2 different years, which I think is quite the incredible feat. Then they have a restaurant called Restaurant Normal, which is a cheaper version. They have a tapas restaurant. They have an ice cream restaurant. They have a sandwich shop. They have a chocolate shop. So the food is just like a foodie city. And I mean, obviously that's in part thanks to them, but I mean, there's other amazing restaurants. Anyway, so you go to Girona. I want you to hang out there for at least a day. I spent like an afternoon. I could have spent longer. Pick up your rental car the next day, spend the night at that fabulous hotel, pick up your rental car, and you're going to drive to Costa Brava. So we're going to start in Palafrugell, which is actually my favorite part of anything that I did. So Palafrugell, I think it's about an hour drive from Girona, and Palafrugell refers to 3 different towns. So you have Palafrugell, which is I think like the main town, and that's not on the coast. I didn't go there. Then there's Palafrugell de Cala. Okay, you guys, this is when I have to get out my map. Bear with me here. Calella de Palafrugell. So this is on the coast. This is where you should start. So you can go park your car there, and then you can do this little coastal walk to the town of Lefranc. But while you do the coastal walk, take a swimming suit, especially if you're going when it's nice, because you can swim in the ocean. There's tons of beaches. I mean, there's cute bars and restaurants. But I would walk to Lefranc and probably, you can eat in Lefranc or just walk there and visit. You can go to the beach there as well and then walk back to your car. I did eat at a really good restaurant in Lefranc called Restaurant Terramar. It's attached to a hotel there. This was my favorite activity. So when you walk, it's pretty easy. It's not like you need tennis shoes. I did it in flip flops. You will probably see people, I guess, backpacking because, like I said, it's part of that coastal walk you can do. Yeah, so it's just amazing. That was my favorite thing. So definitely don't miss that. And then after that, after you spend the afternoon there, take your car and drive to Pals. And Pals is a medieval city. It is very well preserved. It's very beautiful. You can spend 1 or 2 hours. I would stop at the tourism office, which is like right when you arrive, and you can get tickets to go up to the top of the tower there. So I would do that if I were you. And again, just walking around. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. I don't even think I saw one hotel there, but it's just fun to walk around. Okay, so after that, I stayed in La Scala. This was my absolute favorite hotel. Yes. Okay. Hostal Empuries, Hastal Empuries. So this is also a 4-star hotel. This one was my favorite because, I mean, the scenery was stunning. Like looking out at the ocean, incredible sunrise, incredible sunset. I can't put it into words. They have a spa, just amazing. The bar is amazing. The food is amazing. You don't really need to leave the hotel. I kind of feel like it's one of those things after you go to Pals, you check in around 5 o'clock, stay at the hotel, get a drink, watch the sunset, stay for dinner, wake up in the morning, do a little coastal walk. It's perfect. And then I stayed at a third hotel, which I absolutely loved. But you could stay at this one, I think, like 2 nights and just drive back at the end of the day because I'm going to send you further north. So I think it just depends if you want to stay 2 nights or check into another hotel. So that hotel was absolutely fabulous. So that's night 2. So on day 3, you're going to drive further north and you're going to go to Catechus, which is another one of my favorite places that I went. So Catechus is so first, I think you should go to Port Ligat, Port Ligat, Port Ligat. So this is where Salvador Dali's house was that he lived with his wife. And if you don't know who Salvador Dali was, he was a very, very brilliant, famous artist. He was known for surrealism, I believe. And his house is just, I mean, it's epic. It's really, I don't have words. It's very weird. It's very interesting. There's a lot of dead animals there, or fake, I don't know, stuff, but a lot of animals. It's quirky. That's how I'd say it. It's a very quirky place. But I mean, I love to learn about the history and culture when I travel. So it's a cool museum to visit. You absolutely need to make reservations ahead of time because it's like small group tours because the house is very small. So go do that and then drive to Catechus. So when you're in Catechus, you can have lunch, or I would recommend stopping at, okay, Hotel Restaurant Villa Salvador. This, besides that Eros 9 that I told you about when I arrived, this is my other very favorite restaurant that I ate at. So it's a hotel, it's adults only, but you can come for lunch. And I believe you can also get a day pass for the pool there if you wanted to. I would go for lunch for sure. The food was amazing. I had that rice dish again that I loved. I had this artichoke dish. When I ate this artichoke dish, I did not even understand how an artichoke can taste so good. Like veggies, if you cook them well, they're really good. I think I'm scarred because I think growing up, I just never had a good veggie and now I never want to eat them. Okay, so eat at that restaurant, then go to Catechus. So Catechus, I mean, there's beaches there, but I think it's cooler to just walk around. There's really, cute bars, restaurants. There's a church on the top of the hill you can go to, winding alleyways, cobblestone streets. They have this thing there called TAPS, TAPS, and this is a local dessert, and you can buy it at this one place there called Can Cabrices. And this is okay, so it's kind of like a sponge-like cake. And it feels like maybe there's powdered sugar on it. It's really moist, it's really good, and you can try one of these there, which I would recommend. Okay. So you went to Catechus, you had your dessert there, and then the last hotel that I stayed in that I really liked as well, it was more unique because it felt like it was in a desert, even though, I mean, I don't think you would classify this area as desert-like, but also the hotel had kind of like a southwestern feel. It felt like I was in Arizona or maybe New Mexico. I really liked it. It is called, okay, the hotel is called, oh my gosh, you guys. I'm, uh, Mass Lazuli Hotel. MASLAZULI Hotel. Yeah. So this hotel, also amazing, 4 stars, really cool architecture. The design is great. There's an infinity swimming pool. There is a restaurant, a bar, you know the drill. So this is a great one to stay at too. If you want to stay at 3 separate hotels, I mean, those are the 3 that I would stay at. And yeah, so again, you can check in and then kind of just not leave. So now, okay, that's night 3. So now we're on day 4. So day 4, this is the wine day, the best day. So I would go, actually, you know what? Yeah. Okay. So I would go to Cellar Perlada, Perelada. So this wine cellar has won tons of awards for wine, but also for architecture. So they won the Pritzker Architectural Prize. I want to say it was in 2017. All of this information is on my website correctly, but they have a restaurant here. I didn't eat there, but I feel like I would because the wine was so good. Like the restaurant has to be good. So what's really cool about this wine cave, wine cellar is, I mean, the design is incredible. Every little thing was thought out. I did a tour, and even going to the underground region, it is designed like a wine bar. Everything was thought out, which is really cool. And something that I liked about it, so you can do a tour, like your tour and tasting. And basically, you take the elevator underground and they grow their vines in 5 different kinds of soils. So they have their soils like on the ground, and then they explain that wine in the room with the soil. And then you move to the next soil, and it's another video explaining another aspect of the winemaking process. And this was just really cool because I never have been to a wine tasting that did something like this. And again, I really like to learn about, what I'm drinking, what I'm eating, where I'm traveling to. So if you like to do that too, I would add this place to your bucket list. Apparently, they shipped to the United States, this wine. I'm going to tell you the name of it again. And if you ever see it on a menu at a restaurant, you should try it and tell me what you think. So it's Cellar, Celler, Perelada, Perelada. Okay, amazing. That's that. Then, okay, I feel like I keep saying my favorite, but literally this whole trip was amazing. One of my favorite places that you're going to go after this is Besalú. I don't actually think that Besalú is considered to be Costa Brava. I think it's more of the Pyrenees region because you're getting so much closer to the mountains. This is a medieval town. Oh my gosh, I can't explain it. There's this beautiful bridge that crosses the river that takes you to this medieval town. You're in the mountains. It's amazing. I ate at a restaurant there called Restaurant Curia Real, Curiareal. It was good. And I think when you're in a town like this, I get a little bit hesitant because it seems a little commercial. But this was a really good restaurant. And this medieval town, I did see hotels. It seemed bigger than Pal's, the medieval town of Pal's. I don't technically know if it is bigger, but you know. And then I returned to Girona and took the train. But honestly, I feel like you could spend the night in Besalú. You could then go to the Pyrenees and do the mountain part of the region. Or you could head up to France. I mean, the options are endless. This was actually, honest to God, one of my very, very, very favorite trips ever. So I want to go back. I would be interested if you guys would want to be on the bedside trip there. So let me know. And also, please tell me your feedback. If you want to see a specific guest, I would love to know this too. And if you like this podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could rate, review, and subscribe, and maybe send it to a nursing colleague. This helps me out so much. I would really appreciate it. Maybe it would help me not crush out so hard. I don't know why I've been crushing out. I don't know. It's not, oh, it's me. It's not you. Okay. So that's that. I think that if you are considering a trip in the future, maybe this is your sign to go to Costa Brava, or maybe it's just your sign to get on it and book your trip. Again, you can read my full guide to Costa Brava on my website. I'm going to link it in the show notes below. And if you are a nurse feeling on the edge of burnout, please come back next week for more tips on how to protect your energy before you need to quit bedside nursing. Because clocking out isn't just about taking a break, it's about building a life that doesn't need an escape in the first place. And I enjoyed chatting with you guys. I will see you next week. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in to Clocked Out, Life Beyond the Bedside. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you could take a moment to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a fellow nurse who needs to hear it. For more on thriving beyond the bedside, make sure to follow along on Instagram and check out Passports and Preemies, where we talk travel, wellness, and building a life that works for you.